center. Then turn around and face the direction from which your children and Ilana will come. We're going to go around 7 times. 7. Next to each other facing. And make space for your mom. Beautiful. And we need some more light. Yep.
So, now I have the black.
Basi, can you bring a torch? If the lights go out, it's not the end. Ladies and gentlemen, Mazal Tov. It falls to me to greet the Chatan and Kala, and I do so with the traditional greeting. The traditional greeting says, "Blessed are those who have arrived. He who is exalted above all, he who is blessed above all, he who is greatest above all, And he who is mightiest above all, may he bless the Chatan and the Kala. Baruch haba mi yadir ala kol mi baruch ala kol mi gadol ala kol mi dago al hakol hu yevarech es hachasan v'es hakala. We are here to celebrate the wedding of Daniel and Ilana. And I was thinking, the rabbi always has to come up with a connection between the names and demonstrate how they're really meant to be partners, yet from the time their parents named them. Because our Talmud teaches us that when parents choose a name, the parents engage in a form of prophecy, where they would not even know how this name is actually connected to the essence of the soul of each of their children and how those two souls are really one. And so it occurred to me, Ilana, your name in Hebrew is a tree in feminine form. And Daniel, the Dan, is one of the three tributaries of the Jordan River. There are three of them, the Chatzbani, and the Banya, and the Dan. So we have a Dan and an Ilana, we have the stream of water, and we have the tree that grows. And together you create fruit that make the world a more fragrant and more beautiful place. And so from the very first moment of your birth, when your parents thought to name you, each of them found a connection without even knowing, which is why you engage in a form of prophecy without even knowing, of the two of you would come together to create a stream. And just like a stream is always flowing, so it is with our children. As we have children, we create a continuation of a stream that began with Adam and Eve and went all the way through till today and will continue as that stream continues to flow, as God willing, your children will be married and have children, and then they will be married and they will have children, and the stream continues to flow. One of the 7 blessings we will say under the chuppah is Samach Tesamach Re'im Ha'ahuvim. Rejoice, rejoice, the fellows who are beloved. Kesamecha Chayetzircha Began Eden Mikedem, as your Creator brought joy to your ancestors, Adam and Eve, in the Garden of Eden, in the very first days. So that's the stream that began then and continues now. When we signed your ketubah, on the top it said, Ani lidodi vidodi li. I am to my beloved, and my beloved is to me. And there are 2 layers of meaning here. On the surface, it's the chatan and the kala, the bride and groom. I am to my beloved is to me. But on a deeper level, it's the Jewish people and God. And we are in the month of Elul. Elul is spelled Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed. That's the acronym for Ani Lidodi Vidodi Li. So what a beautiful time to make the connection between the bride and groom, reflected in the deep connection between ourselves and God, and may God shower His blessing upon you, not only in the coming new year, but for all the years that God will grant you together, God willing, to establish a home built on the foundations of Torah and of mitzvah. I would like to share with you the text of blessing the text of blessing that my mentor of blessed memory, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, routinely sent to all the people that would ask him for their wedding blessings, because a powerful blessing it is, and I'd like to share that with you here under your chuppah. Hineni bazel lahavia birchati birchat mazal tov mazal tov. I would like herewith to grant you my prayerful wishes that the wedding take place in a happy, auspicious occasion and in a wonderful hour with Mazel Tov. And the Rebbe would go on to say that V'yivnu bayit b'Yisrael binyan adeyad, may you build a home in Israel, and may you be an everlasting home through your children and children's children. And may it be built al yesodei haTorah v'hamitzvah, on the principles of Torah and mitzvah, kefi shemu'arim b'ma'or shebetorah, as they are illuminated by the light of Torah, zuhi Torat HaChasidut. And then he would conclude with the blessing of Mazal Tov in double measure. With that blessing in mind, let me now recite the blessings of the betrothal. So, at this point, I'm going to invite our second witness to come forward. And I do believe that you are currently holding the ring. So I'd like to ask you to take that ring and give it to Dan.
Thanks.
Dan, I am going to first recite the blessings over a cup of wine. Each of you will then have a sip of the wine. And then we will do the ceremony of betrothal, which is the ceremony of placing the ring on Ilana's finger. So I begin by taking this cup in my hand. And I'd like to tell you, since a wedding is building another link in the everlasting chain of the Jewish people, as we brought out this goblet, we realized that it was gifted to us by Letty Stork, an elderly woman who passed away in our community many years ago. She's from Holland. Her daughters gifted this to us. Letty's father was able to acquire this cup. It was given by the Jewish community of Holland as a gift to their venerable rabbi back in 1872. You now will have the opportunity that this goblet will be used as a blessing for you on your chuppah, under your chuppah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu al ha'arayos v'yasar lanu es ha'arusos v'hiter lanu es hanusois lanu al yidei chuppah v'kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh amo Yisrael al yidei chuppah v'kiddushin. I will ask you to take this goblet from underneath because it will fall otherwise. And let Dan have a sip. We're going to hand this goblet to Marcel. And let Marcel give Ilana a sip. Remember that as you're sipping, you are imbibing the wine of blessing. We will then take this and place it on the table. We'll refill it soon for the Sheva Bracha. At this point, I'd like for the two of you to turn and face each other. Ilana, please place your pointer finger. I need Ryan to come forward. Both of us need to witness this. And as you say this line, you will place the ring on Ilana's finger. We practiced this a while ago. It's right here, this line right here. Hare at mekudeshet li betaba'at zo. Start putting it on her finger. Kedat Moshe
Yisrael.
Mazal Tov.
Mazel Tov.
The translation of the words you just said is, with this ring you are betrothed to me, according to the laws of Moses and Israel. At this point, in the old times, in the ancient day, people would go home, and 12 months later they'd come together again and have a wedding. Today we do it both in the same evening. But to separate between the two, we're going to read the ketubah. Once we read the ketubah, we're going to hand it to Dan, who will hand it to Ilana, and then it is your ketubah to hold on to and to always know where it is. So I'm going to place my book on the side, and I'm going to ask Ryan to give me the ketubah. I'm going to pull out my trusty spectacles. Okay. I'm going to read the ketubah first in the original in Aramaic, and then I'm going to read the English. ביחד בשבס בעשור ימים לחודש אלוש נס 5,783 לפני ישראל מלמיניון שאני מונקן לונדון אונטריו החפשם דניאל בן יצחק שיחיה אמר להדאיתסה אילנה בן בס מוישה שתחיה הביא לי לאינטו כדס מוישה בישראל ואנו אפלח ואויקר ואיזן והפרנס יסייך לכי קילחס קובלן יהודיים דפלחן ומייקרן וזונן ומפרנס לנשיין בפושטה ויבינו לכי כסף סובסייך סוזימוסן דחז לכי מזנאייכי ופסוסייך וסיפוקייכי ומאל לבסייכי כעזר קולארו צביאס מרס אילנה שתחיה איתסודו והבס לילה אינטו בדונת נדוניה דאנולס לי בין בכסף בין בדהב בין בתכשיטן במאני דלבושה בשמושדירו בשמושה דארסו הכל קיבל עליו דניאל שיחיה חסן דינם במאה סקופים כסף צורך וצווי דניאל שיחיה חסן דינם ויספלו מדילי אויד מאה סקופים כסף צורך החיירים כנגדון סך הכל מסיים סקופים כסף צורך וכך אומר דניאל שיחיה חסן דינם אחרי שתקסות דון נדוניה דון ותסף דון קבליס עלי ועל ירתי בסרועי ויספרם מכל שפר הרג נכסין מקנינן וקניונים דאיסליט חש לשמיה וקנוי ודיוסי דנם המקנה Nichts die ist noch nach Reis und lässt noch nach Reis, kommen ja nach Freien bei Erwein, die Freien hin stark sitzen dann natürlich mit Rezepte da in der von den Numen da Kaswei, da ja was ja, die ja mit den anderen Liolan. Ja Freien stark sitzen dann tun ja dann mit Rezepte da. Hebel auf Daniel Sheikh Hassan danke für mir kostet so best bei Rezepte in der Hagen mit nice Stroll was frühen. Kritik und Kamenos auf einem Gebrauch hat Lokas macht das Lokas die Schare der Kaninen mit Daniel bei Sheikh Hassan die Namen mal Ilana Basmesha ja, ist das da. I'll call my the Kasaf of Mufurish El, the Monad, the Kasha, the Miknabe, Hakel, Shadar, the Kain, Eliezer ben of Moshe Yitzchak Eid, Ronen ben Meir. On the first day of the week, the 10th day of the month of Elul in the year 5783, corresponding to the 27th day of August in the year 2023 here in London, Ontario, Canada, in the presence of family and friends, the beloveds Daniel Stroll, son of Jeffrey, and Ilana Sabad, daughter of Marcel, entered into the covenant of marriage. As we embark on life's journey, we promise to love, cherish, encourage, and inspire one another, our hearts fused together, creating a unique bond with friendship and compassion at its core. Through this union, we vow to value and support each other, always striving spiritually and intellectually, always mindful of our respective qualities and strengths. May we continue to grow together, maintaining the courage and determination to pursue our desired paths. We promise to celebrate life's joys with grace and overcome life's adversities with tenacity. May we maintain the intimacy that fosters trust, honesty, and communication. As life partners, we shall strive to build a home committed to our Jewish heritage, a home emanating love, peace, tolerance, and charity. Through each other's eyes, we see the world anew. May we be better together. All this is valid and binding. And your signatures. I'm going to roll it up. We'll place it first in the hands of Dan, who will hand it to Ilana. Ilana, you could now hand it to Ryan, who can put it back in the tube and hold it for you and put it in a safe place so that tonight when you go home, you make sure that you have it with you. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue with the second half. That's the wedding ceremony. And that is effectively the chuppah ceremony where we say the Sheva Brachot, the 7 blessings. We will refill the glass of wine. And we will arrange for, fine. We will arrange for the wine to overflow, because a house in which wine overflows is a house that overflows with life. What's that? On my phone? That's a good one. Okay. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol bara lichvodai. Okay. At this point, I need my phone for the list. I'm going to ask you to hold this. Now I'll open the phone. What's that?
Have you done the candles?
No, we hold the candle still. I'm just going to pull up the list that I received this morning.
Yes.
We're going to invite several family members to come forward and to say the blessing. So we're starting with Dan.
No, it's another Dan.
Oh.
It's Dan Adler.
Dan Adler.
Yeah.
Dan, there you are, okay.
Alright, didn't specify.
Dan, I'm going to ask you to take the glass of wine, well, the goblet of wine in hand. If you're a righty, hold it in your right hand. If you're a lefty, hold it in your left hand. Hold it from the bottom, because otherwise this cup won't work from where I'm holding it. Otherwise the cup will end up falling out of its holder. And this is the blessing that you say. The third one.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ha'adam.
Amen. Now I'm going to ask you to hold that up until we call the next one. Ariel. Ariel, come forward, and you're going to read the next bracha. Take the cup from Dan. Yes, you want to hold it from underneath. You have the blessing?
May the blessings be there.
Okay. Yep. Just make sure it's the correct one. I'm going to show you what's on. That's correct. Yes, go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yotzer et ha'adam b'tzalmo b'tzelem v'mut tavnito v'hitkin lo mimeno binyan adei ad. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'adam.
Amen. Hold that cup for a moment, and we're calling Marcel over. Marcel, you can hold, Sarah, if you can hold Marcel's candle, then Marcel can take. Hold the cup from the bottom. Yes. And turn around to the Chatan B'Kala. And you're going to reach Sos Tasis.
Sos Tasis ותגר הרעב וקיבוץ בניך לטובה ושמחה לתוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני משמח ציון בבניך.
Amen. Okay, now please hand the cup over to Jeff. Remember to hold it from the bottom. It's okay if it's still heavy. You've got the blessing in your cup. Yep, 6.
שמח תשמח רעים האהובים, תשמח לך יצירך בגן עדן מקדם. ברוך אתה אדוני משמח תתן וחלה.
Amen. I'm going to ask you to hold that for a moment as we call Jerry for the 7th blessing. Oh, you got it from the base.
It's a long one.
And you're all set with your copy there? Turn around and face the Chatan B'Kala.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'kala gila rina ditzach v'chenda v'shalom v'reah Yehi Adonai Eloheinu yismach barei Yishama barei Yehuda v'chatzot Yerushalayim Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol chala, kol mitzvot chatanim v'chupatem, v'narim v'mishte v'ginatam, Baruch atah Adonai mesameach chatan im hakala.
Now once again, Chatan and Kala will have a little sip. First the Kala. Your husband had a chance before. Hold it from the bottom. Okay, and let Ilana have a sip. Okay, now your turn. You could do bottoms up if you want.
Later.
At this point, before we say Mazal Tov and celebrate, we always remember that our happiness cannot be complete as long as the temple in Jerusalem has not yet been rebuilt. And so to commemorate the fact that part of our hearts are still broken, the tradition is that we break a glass. There is a glass here. It is enclosed in a plastic bag, enclosed in this beautiful white bag. But make sure that you hit it carefully with the heel so that it doesn't break through and hurt your foot. The traditional verses that we sing before we break the glass is Im eshkachech Yerushalayim tishkach yemini. If I were to forget Jerusalem, it would be the equivalent of forgetting my right arm. Tidbak lishoni lechiki im lo eskerechi. May my tongue stick to my palate if I don't remember you. Im lo a'aleh et Yerushalayim, if I don't invoke the memory of Jerusalem, al rosh simchati, at the time of my joy. So I place this here on its side, and I ask Dan to carefully crush that glass. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Long time in coming, and we're so happy for all of you. Mazel tov.
We'll be right back. Now you guys have the first meal together.
Come on, Miles.